Hello, my name is Brooke Vickers, and I was paired up with Dr. Harper for the second half of the semester to discuss bee genetics and figure out what his research is. During this time, this is the list of people who I got to interview and spend time with and figure out what their overall grand challenge is. Dr. Harper and his colleagues worked to fill in the blanks of our knowledge of genomes and the history of these social organisms and the functional significance of their behaviors. I would consider this a research lab because they're researching social immunity evolves and using genomics to get a better understanding of adaptive behavior. This could also be considered a teaching lab because they're using their research to engage with the public and better evolve the beekeeping industry. I first interviewed Dylan and Ben. Dylan specifically is working on finding the proper way to breed honeybees using genetic information. Ben's specific research is about the evolution in wasp and social behavior to better understand insects. The grand challenge he's trying to answer is, why are insects social? Why do they get into conflict, and why do they not cooperate when we need them to? His research is investigating the Vespa mandarinia, and this wasp is also known as the murder hornet. The influence that this is having with honeybees is that they are attacking honeybee hives and killing forages. What I learned from Dr. Harper is majority of hives fail within the first months. Right now there's a 60% death rate among hives, and the reason is unknown. A lot of breeders blame the cause of death on hives to the queens, when really it's male health that is affecting the hives. A lot of males are producing unhealthy sperm, which is then causing the queens to die. Matt was adapted into the lab. His research does not really coincide with honeybees, but I still thought it was very interesting. He's in the Argentine ant, which is a globally invasive species that's causing harm to several crops. One of these nests can stretch over 100 miles. Basically, his research was to plan on knocking out odor receptors within the ants and hoping that they would attack other nestmates because they would not be able to recognize them as nestmates. Unfortunately, this backfired because they could not detect if it was a nestmate from a non-nestmate. They kind of just left the other ants alone, which then the population grew. So Riley is basically researching honeybee drones. She looks at somatic mutation accumulation to get a better understanding of germline variants. Germline variants are any mutation being passed down from parent to child. The question she's trying to figure out is if there are variants between individuals and tissues. Her end goal is to figure out what these homozygous individuals are using as repair mechanisms. Riley extracted out brain, muscle, midgut, and reproductive systems. She ran a whole genome sequence on each individual tissue from each individual drone of 6 drones. Stephanie is a neuroscientist. Basically, she is working on how to manipulate the brain and make it do what we need it to do. This is an image of basically different primary antibodies being washed within the brain. And then when these antibodies are flashed with a laser, it causes the electrons to get excited, which then causes this beautiful fluorescent colors. This is also, she works with Drosophila melangasters, also known as fruit flies, and they have very similar brains to honeybees. They're just a little bit easier to manipulate and work with. So overall, some acquired knowledge I learned was females are diploid and males are haploid, meaning there's an uneven contribution into generations, which then leads to any asymmetrical relationship. Unlike humans, bees share 75% of a parent's DNA, and that basically causes uneven contribution. Honeybees are polyamorous, meaning they mate with several mates, not just one. Bee breeding is a 7-hour process that requires magnification tools and usually is a very tedious process. Only 6 or 7 companies are known for producing a queen. It's a very hush-hush operation, and a lot of people don't know about it. So the overall grand challenge, like I said, is developing a better breeding method and focusing on the high death rates.